In response to more federal cuts by the Trump administration, another lawsuit has been filed, this time by nearly a dozen groups who say the cuts could impact thousands of children in immigration court.
Investigative reporter Bennett Haberly joining us here on the set with much more looking into this. Bennett?
Yeah, it feels like call and response, right? The Trump administration saying there are cuts coming into place, and the response is this lawsuit. The group who has filed it say that for a decade or more, Congress and the federal government have provided funding for lawyers to represent immigrant children, and thousands of whom are unaccompanied in this country. That was, of course, until last week when they say the pipeline for those dollars was abruptly cut off. In one of the latest lawsuits against the Trump administration, 11 groups that provide legal services in immigration court to unaccompanied children are now suing the Trump administration, saying on March 21st, without warning, the Department of the Interior sent a notice terminating money for attorneys to represent these unaccompanied children in court. Among the people they allege will be impacted by the cuts, a 16-year-old girl and her 1-year-old son. The lawsuit alleges that beginning at the age of 6, the girl was sex trafficked by her family in Mexico. After giving birth to her son, she fled to the U.S. to save him from the same fate.
No justification provided. It was, abruptly pulling the plug on these core services. We
spoke to Azadeh Erfani, a policy director at the National Immigrant Justice Center, one of the 11 groups now suing. Since taking office, President Trump's administration has taken several steps to reduce federal spending and increase immigration enforcement.
We're not surprised, only insofar as cruelty has been a trademark of this administration when it comes to targeting immigrant communities. And so in this particular case, they're coming after the lawyers in order to get to the children.
Erfani told NBC5 Investigates she has concerns about the pressure this could potentially place on immigration judges and their courts, which currently faces a backlog of nearly 3.7 million cases. You think this is a means to an end, with the end being that this may expedite the removal process for these unaccompanied children?
Absolutely. The administration is trying to short circuit essentially the entire process that immigrants are entitled to, including children in this case. There's due process protections for everybody who is in court proceedings. You cannot have due process if you're sending kids alone in immigration court to face an ICE prosecutor.
In a statement to NBC5 Investigates, a Department of Interior spokesperson said in part, while they prioritize fiscal responsibility for the American people, department policy is not to comment on litigation. And the groups are asking that a federal judge intervene here. They want a temporary restraining order and an injunction to prevent these cuts from going into place. Right now, they say they face the choice of representing these children without funding or not representing them at all. By the way, I should add, we did not hear back from Health and Human Services either, the other federal agency named in this lawsuit.
Okay. Thanks so much.
See what the response is. Thank you.
Sure.